Hey everybody, welcome to Kelly's Take 2 Zoom review for pre-licensing. Today we're going to continue talking about and reviewing North Carolina Real Estate Commission license law and some rules. Today specifically, we're going to go over a few important dates that you will most definitely be tested on. Let's dive in. If you're using note cards, go ahead and grab your note cards. We'll make a few of those. If you are taking notes, get out your note-taking materials. And again, if you are out listening to this while you're doing something else like exercising, walking, doing chores, do know that if my speech is too slow, you can speed it up using YouTube. Will allow you to speed up my speech, which again, many students really enjoy that feature. All right, so today, let's go ahead and title this one NCREC. Of course, that stands for North Carolina Real Estate Commission, Dates to Remember. Do you remember the 21st of September? Ooh, it's a little pitchy dog, but I couldn't help myself. Okay, take after my dad. He can turn everything into a song, people. I tell you what. He's so great. Okay, dates to remember. Number one date to remember will be your renewal of your license. You know what? That's going to bother me. So I'm going to erase it and write license renewal. I know I should just focus on improvement rather than perfection, but I can't help myself. That one's going to bug me. All right, here we go. So, license renewal is a good one to remember. I'm going to put some space in between. Now, you could make 3 separate flashcards. I might would do that. I would consider making 3 separate flashcards in addition to this one. I know. It's up to you. But because why? Because I'm going to give you some information under each category, under each one of these. All right, number 2, you need to remember to take your CE. What does CE stand for? Continuing education. Nobody has time to write all that out. So CE, continuing education. That has a couple rules to it. And number 3, you have to remember to take your post licensing. So your post classes. How many do we have to take? 3. How long does each one last? 30 hours. Can you take them in any order? Absolutely. Can you take them back to back? Sure thing. No problem. All right, so license renewal. When is it due? Let me get a different color. License renewal is by June 30th at 11:59 p.m. essentially. Okay, but just remember June 30th. Okay. It's all online, just so you know. You're not tested on this, but it's all online. It's very easy. And as soon as I leave here with you right now, I'm going to run down and make sure I get mine renewed as well. How much does it cost? It costs $45. So it's $45, which is a great deal if you think about it. I mean, considering all the money you can make in real estate, it's amazing. All right, CE. Your CE is due by June the 10th each year, except your first license year. So this notion of your CE is due by June 10th each year, except your first license year. That means when you are issued your license, if you're issued your license before June the 10th, essentially, let's say you get your license in March of that year, you're going to actually have to renew your license just a few weeks later, but you will not have to take your CE. You'll need to take your CE by the time you pay your second renewal fee. Hope that makes sense. So let's see if I can add to this what's on your screen right here. So CE is due by 10th each year except your first year for, let's put newbies. For newbies, CE, first CE is due by your second license renewal. I think that'll work. Okay, clear as mud, don't you know? Okay, you just send me an email though, if something's not clear. Now, let's go down here to post. Post is due, so due by, nope, I don't like that. We're gonna do due within 18 months of licensure. So due within 18 months of licensure. Very good. Excellent. Now, can you take all 18 months? Absolutely. Do I have an opinion on whether it's a great idea to take those fast or slow? I do. So I hope it's okay if I share it with you. It's just my own personal opinion. In my personal opinion, post-licensing is intended to help you make sense of everything you're learning in this super fast-paced 75-hour course, which is super, super fast. So the nice thing about post-licensing is if you take it slowly over the course of 18 months, once you get some business under your belt, being in the post-licensing classes help you make sense of what you're experiencing with those boots on the ground, if that makes sense for you. So that's my opinion. But it seems as if the trend is people are enjoying taking those back to back to back just to tick the box and get them over with. But I think they're really useful once you have some experience going. All right, now let's talk about what happens if you miss your deadline. You know what, y'all? I feel like I'm gonna erase my screen just for the sake of tidiness, and we'll go over each one of these, what happens if you miss your deadline. So I'm gonna erase my screen, and here we go. So let's title this Missed Deadlines. And let's do, if you miss your license renewal, if you miss your license renewal, your license status is expired. Put an X by that. Expired. Listen, people, the Real Estate Commission is not playing about their money. They want that $45 renewal fee each year. They don't get money from the state legislature. Their budget is set based on fees. So they're not playing about that 45 bucks. You need to pay that money. If you don't pay that money, what is your license? Expired. Do it with me. If you forget to pay your money, your license is what? Expired. Hey, guess what? There's only one way to have an expired license, and that's not to pay your money. So how can you remember this? Because another status of license will be inactive. So your license could be active, inactive, or expired. One of those three things. Nothing else. No other language. No other language. It will either be inactive, active, or expired. So how can you remember? Well, I think less is more. So again, there's only one way to have an expired license. That's if you forget to pay your money. But I have figured out a little kinesthetic, a little activity, a little body motion that can help you really seal this notion down. You will be tested on knowing the difference between an expired license and an inactive license. So let's go. How do you do it? You guys ready? There's only one way for an expired license, and that's no, let's do it like Cardi B, Shamani. All right, let's go again. I know you're like, whoa, what was that? I'm telling you, the goofier something is, the easier it will be to remember it later. So let's go. Let's act up. Let's act it up. Expired license. There's only one way for an expired license. That's no Shamani. Thank you, Cardi B, for helping us out with that. Okay, very good. And now if you did that body motion, you're going to answer that correctly on the exam. If you're sitting back going, that's too weird for me. Okay, take the chance. You might miss it. I'm just saying. All right, now, how do you remedy the situation? I need a remedy. All right, Black Crows, let's go. How do you remedy the situation? How do you fix it? You can fix the problem. You can fix the issue. You can fix your expired license by what? Within 6 months. So that's really by December 31st. Pay double fee, which currently would be $90. Just pay double the fee. Okay, now if it's, let's see. If your license is expired for longer than 2 years, so expired for a long time, for 2+ years, what do you get to do? Start over. Start over and take Kel's 75-hour class again. Oh, doesn't that sound like fun? No, it does not. Don't do that. Pay the dang money, y'all. It's only $45. Seriously, have a yard sale. Do something. Put something on the Facebook marketplace, but pay that $45 renewal fee. Don't chance it. You don't want to sit through this class again. Believe me, by the time you get to the end, you're going to be like, whew, where's the door? Okay. All right, very good. Now, my critical thinkers out there, I know where you are. I know what you're doing. I know what you're saying. You're thinking, she's missing some time here. Yeah, I am. Because the time that's missing is not super testable. Why? Because it's a little bit gray. It's a little bit gray. The language in the law goes something like, and I'm going to paraphrase, if your license is expired for more than 6 months, but less than 2 years, the situation is a little more complicated. In what way? We have to prove that we have current knowledge of license law. Gosh, Kelly, how do we do that? You might ask. Oh, I don't know. Maybe by taking the state side of the PSI licensing exam over again, or some other course, or something else that the Real Estate Commission cooks up for you to do to prove that you have current knowledge of real estate in North Carolina. So that one's a little muddy. Therefore, they don't really test you on that one too much. Okay. Anything else I want you to know here? I think we're good. All right, awesome. Let's go on to the next one. Let's talk about CE. So clear your board. I'm going to clear my board anyway. And we're going to draw missed deadline. So let's say you miss your CE deadline. Missed CE deadline. Now what? It's a problem. Your license now, license equals inactive. Now, when your license is expired or inactive, all your business has to stop. And your license will be deemed inactive if you miss your continuing education. It's due by the 10th. But then the Real Estate Commission needs a few weeks to process everyone's information. So if your license is expired midnight on July 1, when you wake up in the morning, it's expired, all your business has to stop. If you forgot to take your CE, like I said a second ago, on June 10th, after the Real Estate Commission processes all their paperwork, come July 1, your license status will be inactive. All your business must stop. Oh my gosh, what do you mean by stop? That means you can't talk to any of your clients or anything. Typically, your broker in charge will have to take over for you with all your communications, all your pending transactions until you remedy the situation. And that makes them very what? Unhappy. We don't want an unhappy broker in charge, y'all. That is no fun, just to tell you right now. Been there, done that. Okay. Now, no, I did not let my license go inactive, but I've done other things to make a broker in charge unhappy. Okay, I digress. Let's talk about how to remedy an inactive North Carolina license. What's the remedy? How to fix? Fix it by taking the current year's update class. Current years, it's 4 hours. So let's put that here. 4-hour update class, in addition to plus 3 electives. How long are those? Those are 4-hour electives plus 3 4-hour electives. So there you go. So that's a total of 16 hours. Is that right? Yes. Okay. So a total of 16 hours. You might get a test question, at least on a practice exam. What would be the maximum number of class hours a licensee would have to take to reactivate an inactive license due to CE deficiency? And your answer would be 16 hours for 1 4-hour update class and 3 4-hour electives. Very good. Okay. Now, there's something new. Get ready. Let's switch gears. We're still on an inactive license. That's if you're practicing, you just got really busy and you forgot to take your continuing ed. It happens to people. This is how you fix it. You also have to turn in a certain document to the Real Estate Commission. You're not tested on that document, but naturally it would only stand to reason that you'd have to follow that up with some type of documentation. The same applies for an expired license as well. All right, now there's one more thing that we're going to discuss with your license that's on inactive status. So let me erase this part of my board. Hopefully you've got that written down. If not, you can stop and rewind it. Thank you, YouTube. Isn't it the best? Oh my gosh. Khan Academy has got nothing on us, y'all. Okay, I'm switching gears here. Nice. All right, so now let's say that you have a license that is, you're paying your renewal fee, but your license is inactive for more than 2 years. And let's see, and we've got a CE deficiency and CE is missing. What do we do? How to activate. So how do you activate a North Carolina real estate license that has been inactive for more than 2 years and you have taken 0 continuing ed? This actually would pertain to my husband, Greg, who I'm sure you will get to know over the course of these reviews. He tends to come up in conversation a little bit there. So he has a license, a real estate license. I made him go get one. I forced him to go get his real estate license. He didn't enjoy the practice. But I never let it go. I never let it expire. Why? Because he would have to take the course over again if it were expired for more than 2 years. So I always pay his $45 renewal fee for him. The other reason why I always pay his $45 renewal fee, you want to know? Say yes. Okay, here we go. Is because if he ever gets on my case about how I'm spending my money on my shoes or on my little things that I like to purchase, I just whip myself around and say, hey, buddy, why don't you just go reactivate your real estate license and go sell some houses? How about that idea? And tell you what, that shuts the conversation down just like that. So, you know, little advice here, some couples advice here while you're reviewing with me. All right, but back to the matter at hand. If Greg needed to or desired to reactivate his license that has been, by the way, inactive for 12 years or more at this point, inactive for 12 years, he has never taken any CE, what would Greg have to do? Here it is. He would have to take 8 hours of the current year's update he would have to take 8 hours total, just so you know, 8 hours total of the current year's update plus 1 4-hour elective. So CE in a nutshell, each year is a 4-hour update course from the Real Estate Commission and a 4-hour elective. So 8 hours total per year. So we'd have to do that right out of the gate. And then he would have to take 2 post-licensing courses, 2 30-hour post classes for a total number of hours would be 68 hours total. It used to be a lot less than that. I'm not going to tell you how much less because it will muddy the waters. I'll just say substantially less to the point that I don't see him ever doing that, but I could be wrong. You never know. So when I leave here today, I will go renew his license and mine as well. It's worth the $45. I can't say enough about that. So pay your money. Pay your money and take your continuing education on time. It's due when? By June the 10th. If you miss taking your CE on time, your license status is inactive. All right, great. I hope that was a great review. And I'll see you next time on Kelly's Take 2 Review.